Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Chris. Welcome to the London Close trading session. We're 20th of May, 2020. It's 5 a.m. over here, 5:04. Anyway, market's a little bit checkered today, so we'll kind of cover what we have going on. And then I want to, after we put on our trade today, I'll cover what we had yesterday. So we had two trades. They were both profitable, but it did take some trade management there for sure. So I'd like to show you kind of what my thought process was while doing it, just so you have a better understanding. But we had an Aussie yen short with a 4-to-1 risk reward. That was a full profit target hit. And then the Euro Aussie long we took, and we took that off at the start of London because I don't like holding things overnight. So um, anyway, kind of getting into it. The theme is still kind of risk on right now. So the dollar was mostly weaker. Equity futures, did lift the appetite right now. I mean, the Dow's up 393, the VIX is down. Um, so definitely a rally. Oil's up, gold's up, all of the metals are up. So CAD, little change. So there was a buildup in oil, or excuse me, a decline in oil inventories, but there was a buildup in gas or in gasoline inventories. So the CAD's going to be a little confused right now. The euro kind of holding as markets are focusing on the recovery plan. The pound did lag a little bit on negative rate bets, but Bailey didn't really clue in anything extra on that. The yen is starting to kind of get turned away on, a turn away from safe havens. And Aussie is interestingly still following a positive tone there, ignoring the China risks, which I think is a disparity in the market. So I think the Aussie would be a good pair to trade today, or currency to trade. So right now, the two currencies that I see when you look at everything out there that could see a divergence, or once again an opposite direction from where it currently is, would be the Aussie. I think the strength there is not going to be long lived here. I think China is too volatile to impact that economy. And then also, I think the pound. I think the pound right now was being really weakened on bets on negative rates, but I think as you know. A great example of this is New Zealand basically coming in saying that negative rates are way off, and they'll only use it if they have to. I think the pound's going to be the same way. I think the UK is going to do the same, follow suit there. So I think the pound's ready for a little bit of a rally here. So we're going to look at a couple little moves today. So you can see it's real checkered right now, but nothing super weak. I mean, the dollar's pretty weak here, especially against the Kiwi. The yen is checkered. Pound is kind of checkered, but you can see, I mean, it's off against the Aussie and the Kiwi. So pound Aussie would actually be an ideal move here. I think the pound could move against the Aussie pretty substantially there. I don't know if I see a level that's worth trading on that particular one. Let me just scan it. I was going to look at a euro pound, but I'd like to trade. I'd like to trade the pound Aussie. Now let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at that one. I mean, that kind of hits both of my credentials for a flip here. I'm going to look at one other thing. I'm curious, just where are the pivot points, and is there a strong level coming into the London close here. So we don't want Saxo, we want Wanda. Okay, so right now you can see it's at a very, very good level here for, oh, this is a great level. 185. Let's go down to the 30-minute time frame. You can see it's being sold off here pretty substantially. And as I mentioned, I really like to use the volume profile. I want to see what's going on here. Yeah, right here is a big level of buildup. So for me, what I think happened here is I would say it took a dip, and it's going to take a rebound over here because on the day time frame, there's a huge level there that it's got to break, and I don't think it can break it. So you can see it took a little drop right in here. So 185.82 is kind of where I'd be looking at. I'm looking up the pivot points, and there is one at 185.84. So actually, there is a strong pivot point right there too. So that's good. It's not that the pivot points really mean anything, but for traders it does because they all congregate around that level. So I'd be interested in a possible maybe 20 pip stop and a target of, let's see, we're looking at about 100 pips right here. Yeah, so let's figure that out, and we're going to take this trade. Pips. I like this move. I think the Aussie's a little too built up here. Okay, so we will take it. Let's see where we get filled here. Let me just make sure I got my numbers right here. All right, we are in, and we got filled at 185.89.8. So actually a pretty good fill. So let's fill our info in here. We'll just go at the, there we go. We're going to target right here at the bottom, the start of this volume cluster here. So 186.92 will be our stop, or excuse me, our take profit. 692, and then our stop, we're looking at, so 79. So 79, excuse me, 69 will be our level, and we'll set a emergency stop at 29. You always want to have a stop, but once again, the stop that I show the broker is different than the stop that I'm actually going to use. So 185.29 will be where our stop is, just in case something crazy happens. But our actual stop will be at 185.69. All right. So we've got a 5 to 1 reward to risk ratio here, and I'm pretty comfortable with this move here. So what I like to do is let's watch this sucker. And for us, once again, it has to close below this on the 30-minute chart for us to close this thing out. So we'll see what happens on that one. And then the other one I want to look at that's at a pretty good level here actually is the euro pound. So this 89.58 level was a pretty substantial level that was broken, and you can see it's spiked up over this, and now it's consolidating. So I think the move is done. So I like a trade here as well. I really like this build up of the volume here. I think that's I think that is basically stopping it. I mean, you can see there's a battle that's been going on for let's see. Let's go to the 30-minute. I'm sorry. Right here. So you see a little build up, you see a little pop up here to take out stops, and it's at 89.60 right now. So I'd be a buyer at a 10 pip stop. And what I'd like to do is see where the volume is here, because this is a possible good trade too. Let's take a look. So big volume build up here at 36. If you kind of go down here to the bottom, right here is where I'd be targeting. So 88.47. Realistically, it could probably get to the lows here by the end of the day. So that's where the volume kind of drops off. So I would anticipate maybe a nice little drop down here into the lows here. So we're probably looking at the figure maybe a little higher, so like 89.05 with a 10 pip stop. So let's get in on that too. Once again, so you see this rejection here, and it's been dilly-dallying around for about an hour here. So I really like the fact that there's wicks right here. It could give us a 10 pip a 10 pip stop on that. So we will get in on this as well. So we're going to go 12 pips because we want to add in the spread on this one. So 12 pip stop. So it gives us a really, really nice reward to risk. Problem is you have to have a lot of leverage here to use the pound, which is not good. I can't even trade it. You know what? Not going to trade it if I can't get my risk reward in there. So we'll stick with the. This is what happened, guys. The margin requirements are super high for the pound pairs, and I risk 2% per trade on my account. Not able to do so on this one, so I'm not going to trade it because I want to make sure I keep consistently on my reward to risk. So we'll stick with the pound Aussie and kind of go from there. So you can already see it's starting to reject here at this 80 level. Hopefully it'll stay. Let's monitor. I'll keep an eye out if there's any other trades. Like I said, I'm looking for any type of Aussie trade. Aussie weakness would be something I'd be interested in as well. Like maybe, you know what? Here's a good one. Let's see. It'll just take a while. This Aussie US might be a good one too. You got an Aussie CAD. That's already broken the level. Yeah, that'll take forever to go. Sorry, guys. So what I'm doing right now is I'm looking at Auto Chartist, which is free if you're a if you're with Awanda. But once again, I'm all about free, so no feel forced to do this. Actually, you know what might be a good one is the Euro Aussie again. We did that yesterday, and it drops back up to a level that would be interesting for us to trade. See where this is at. Look at this, it almost hit our profit target last time. Remove. It's down to 66.39. I'd be more interested in watching this one. I think I'd like to see it reject this level again here. If it does, then we'll keep an eye on it. You can see the pound Aussie is threatening our 69 level here. So, once again, what I'm doing is I'm basically standing by the fact that it'll reject at this 80 level. And if it doesn't reject at the 80 level, it's going to go below 69. It'll close below that, and that invalidates our trade, and that's when we want to get out. Euro Aussie, I would look at this level right here. So this 20, 24, 25. So 50 to 25 is kind of the level I'm looking at. It doesn't reject it again. And if it does, we'll get in. If it doesn't, then we'll watch. So I'd like to see a close on this bar here in the next 10 minutes, and then maybe a little upside before I get in on something like this. All right, well, hey, let's look at the trades we had yesterday. So we had Euro Aussie, and as I mentioned, what happened here was we got in here at 60, right here. We got in here at 61, and our thought process was if it closed below 50, it was gonna, keep on going. But when you look here at this wick, and that's the low. So that's the level that I was really looking at. I looked at the low, so it closed below 50 on this bar here, and it dropped way below. You can see it took out a lot of stops, right? That's why I use a soft stop, not a hard stop, for the level that I'm planning on getting out of. But you can see it closed above that level, and then it tried to drop below again, but it started spiking up right after that. So that gave me confidence that this was going to go in the right direction. And what ended up happening on this was the news came out about the vaccine not being quite as legitimate as originally thought, and that spiked this sucker up. So I was kind of kicking myself in the butt for not closing here at 31 at the beginning of the Tokyo session, and then it dropped down into the 80s, and then it came back up here. So I got out here before the move, and usually what I'll do is I'll just not even pay attention to it and wait till London opens and then get out at that time. But I didn't do so this time. So that's what happened on the Euro Aussie. The Aussie yen was actually a little bit easier than that. You can see here it never closed above our level here. So we got in, dropped, spiked up, didn't close below, and then just went down our profit target. And that was an easy win for us there. So I was actually going to hold a little bit longer, but you got to stick with the rules on that. So those are the trades we had for yesterday, and we will keep monitoring these guys today. So you can see it dropped below, but it hasn't killed this level here that I was interested in. So keep an eye on this guy. Like I said, I think, look at this. You can see it's starting to kind of rally, drop, and I think a rally's in order here. So this would be a good kind of telltale sign for us on the pound Aussie. If the pound Aussie starts going in the good direction here, then Euro Aussie will do the same thing. All right, so we'll keep an eye on these guys, and we'll let you know. And thanks, guys, for tuning in. Any questions? Hit me up in the room. Mahalo.